singularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
Hello guys, yeah, into a classic series here. Brilliant. Right, I've just managed to dig out some, the two-part box set came out, oh god, years ago, Saphire and Steel, but the episodes are on YouTube, so they're all on there, and I do recommend it. So here's the box set. This is the second one, I don't know where the first part is, but I've got both parts. So this is the Saphire and Steel box set. There's not a lot of extras on this, just documentary and some like gallery stuff, but Saphire and Steel was pretty cool at the time, and Joanna Lumley's such a lady, isn't she? You know, she's just royalty, and she's a marvellous actress, a national treasure as they would say in the UK. But Saphire and Steel were just crazy. So this is inside the box. As you can see, some nice artwork, photos. You've got 1, 2, 3, all the assignments here. The booklet's missing, that's a shame. I've had this for years. So as you can see, there we go, Saphire and Steel. So that's the box set. Now, I don't know if this was shown in America. I have seen some people in America have reviewed it, and the Americans, they find it completely fascinating. And I did like what one of the American reviewers said. He said the one thing, he said, you've got to watch this. I discovered it and on this website, and I bought it. He said it blew my mind. He said only English. He said it's British science fiction, and he said there's only the Brits that can create stuff like this. And I took that as a compliment, because I mean, you know, we came up with the dude that flies around in a telephone box through space and time, and they can change into different people. I mean, it's only from this country. So we do have a great heritage of science fiction in the UK. Blake Seven as well, Space 1999, I could go on. UFO, oh, UFO and Shadow, brilliant. Right, so anyway, on to Saphire and Steel. This is creepy, it's not high budget. It's always set in a location, and they don't really leave that location. So weird things happen. I remember in first episode, there was one in a house where the phones are ringing, and there's something in the house, and you get really freaked out, and they just turn up. They just turn up, and they're there to put whatever it is right, you know, and it's the noises and the they're very psychological. It's very, very creepy. And when these things happen, it's like there's things outside the universe that come in. They're not meant to be here, but they come in through like poltergeist or time. I mean, there's one where there's a train station with this guy who's trying to find ghosts, and ghosts keep popping up, people from the past. There's one with a soldier from the First World War, and it's just this darkness. It's just darkness consuming everything, and at the end they have to sacrifice this man who's a lovely man, who's a ghost investigator, paranormal investigator. They sacrifice him, you know, to keep everything safe. And then, but still, now are the aliens guardians? We never find out. We know they serve a higher order, and there's so much. I mean, there's one where they trap a guy in a prison. He gets out of a prison and he's running about everywhere, and they put him in a prison. He can't get outside of prison, and that is really. I don't really want to divulge too many episodes, because if I tell you what's going on fully in each episode, you're not going to want to watch it. You've got to get into the creepiness of it. I mean, there's no lavish budget. It's just David McCullum and Joanna Lumley just do this right there. I mean, Steel, right? He's so cold it's no emotion with him. Whereas Sapphire's got, she's passionate. She's got, you can touch her. Yeah, she's got warmth in her, and that's what makes them well. But Saphire does a lot of the work because she seems to, she can rewind time back so much. Her eyes turn blue. They're both telepathic, and they meet others of their kind like Silver. I think they meet Lead as well, and they've all got these different abilities, but they're there to put something right. Now in the credits at the beginning, I think that path, that's like the universe, it's the timelines, and that it's like a helmet in the background, so I assume that's the entity they all serve. It's some group they work for. But in the final episode, because they pulled the plug on it, it left it with a massive cliffhanger, you know, right at the end, and it was just really screwed up, because I thought, you know, is there going to be any more on this? And there wasn't. It finished like I just reviewed Dark Matter, and explosive ending of the series. Well, in Saphire it's a bit different, but you get that type of ending, and it's totally screwed. And you're like, my God, that's what's going on. I mean, the episodes. I mean, like there's the train station one. There's one with the prison where they trap this thing. There's one with the entity with no face in photographs, which is really creepy. And I think somebody gets trapped in photograph and it burns the person alive in the photograph. But there's no vast amount of special effects. It's all psychological. And you know, when I was a kid, this was on. We used to get it twice a week. It was on Tuesday and Thursdays. I think at 7 or 7:30. And a lot of people were really freaked out. There were a lot of bad press about it, but at first it was going to be like, I think from there is a documentary about it on YouTube, and they were saying I think I forgot his name, the creator. He said at first that they made a pilot and it cost $5,000, and I think it was going to be like a kids thing at 5:30, but they didn't. ABC, I think it was at ABC, ATV at the time, Anglia TV said no. Because a lot of like broadcasters in the UK turned it down, so they went with it. They loved the pilot, so they ended up making 6 episodes. But I mean, getting McCullum and Lumley in, they were big draws at the time. Well, they still are now. And you know, he said $5,000 were gone the minute we got David McCullum in, and they got John Lumley, and they worked so well together in it as this force. But at the end, we're through this journey, I think it's about 6 or 7 assignments of all kinds of head doing stuff. But a lot of kids really freaked out because it used to be on, and it was scary. I mean, wind blowing in houses, and it were the sets where they set it. I mean, I watched one the other day where there was a dinner party, and it was all set in this house, and the house was somehow going back to the 1930s because this thing in time wanted to change the future, but it wanted to come through, and they had to go back. And for a few seconds it manages it, but they undo it. It's all really weird how it is. It's like this going back to the 1930s, because there's a door where it's modern day, where if you go through the door, it's all really crazy, but it's all set in this house. And I watched it and I really enjoyed it. And I was hooked because you want to know what's going on, and they just disappear and they just vanish. That's it. They just go elsewhere. But when this event happens, these like strange hauntings or something from outside our reality, it always in like something very creepy. There's a death in a very strange way. They just turn up. They're just there, and they put a stop to it. But there is a cliffhanger at the end of the 6, 7 seasons of it. You know, which I'd rather you watch these and enjoy the journey. They're all on YouTube anyway, so you can watch them on there. Trust me. Do you remember Cold Chat the Night Stalker? They had that creepy feel to it. I mean, that was cheaply done, and it had that effect to it. So I mean, it's totally done. I know that was predecessor for X-Files. But I'm trying to come into like it was like last of that generation of TV. I think it ran for 3 years. I think it was 79. I think it was Sapphire and Steel. And it finished by 81, 82. but it was real creepy stuff. But we were up to, we used to watch it every week, and they just kept ploughing these half-an-hour episodes, and I loved it for that. And every episode's a cliffhanger, and I don't think you could bring, I don't know, if they brought this back it'd have to be done similar, but I think if they brought this back today, I think the acting talent's out to play these two, but I think they would spend a fortune on special effects, and I think that's the thing that'd kill it. You see, in Saphire and Steel, something as simple as a clock can be a focus in the area where they are, or a cupboard, or a drawer, or a telephone. Something in the house is a focus of something, and that's what you focus on. You know, like in one episode, the clock's going backwards, and you notice it, but nobody in the house does, but they do. And it's always like focusing, and that's what's interesting. That is the secret of this programme. It's just the sheer creepiness of it. Honestly, you know, I mean, I've watched a few over this week, and even now, still being pretty creeped out with the one, especially the one at the train station. So I do recommend getting Saphire and Steel. You pick it up quite cheap as well. But like I said, they're all on YouTube. So that's my review of Saphire and Steel. You know, let me know what you think, and please give this video a like. And you know, if there's any transuranic elements in your area, let me know. But I will say, in the documentary on YouTube and on there, people, funny enough, the creator says that a lot of fans have written to him over the years, and he did say nobody ever asked him what it were about, where did they come from. We just know that there's some kind of guardians, but trust me, when you get to the final one, all that gets upturned, and that's all I'm going to say. You know, because I want you to experience what I experienced with this. So I mean, to me, they guard reality. There's some order in the universe where if there's a leak of something, they come in and put it right. Like, you know, and they have abilities. They're like half alien, half something else. I think they're interdimensional, you know. But wherever they come from, certain elements, it said like in that, heavier elements can't be used in places where there's life, so they send them in. The bigger elements seem to be held back. They must like deal with the bigger stuff when something really gets out of control. But I don't know. To me, they're guardians and they protect reality. I think that's the best way to put it. In all its forms and whatever. You know, there's things that are not allowed to exist in this timeline or reality, and they're there to stop whatever. That's it. So anyway, I'm going to say, give this video a like, guys. Please let me know what you think, and give me your thoughts on Saphire and Steel, and I do recommend it. Alright guys, have a great week, and let's hope the weather gets better. Oh yes, Star Wars. It's out. That'll be here tomorrow. So have a great evening, guys.